what's your view on this? Is there anything that you think may have happened that we haven't talked about?
I think nothing extra to add other than just echoing what Tom and Owain have already said. I think the main thing is that with all this noise that has been going on around the team for the last couple of seasons, the fact that they've not gone away is for me the most damning thing. And from a PR perspective and just, the optics of it all, look pretty bad. And the fact that, regardless of whether the allegations were true or false, the fact that he even survived them last year and still kept his job, you don't see that in a lot of, front-facing, you know, high-end jobs these days. People for PR and optics reasons get rid of people like that straight away. I think back to if we're talking Hollywood, for example, there was allegations made against Jonathan Majors, who at the time was on a big Marvel contract. He was Kang the Conqueror, and at the time there were allegations only, but Disney cut ties with him straight away. And then later on, we found out that yeah, he was acquitted of the charges, but he still lost everything at the point. So it's sometimes you see these big companies do this to protect themselves, and I think the fact that Horner had been, a loyal servant and been there for quite some time. It's kind of like a stay of execution to keep him on, but maybe Oliver Mintzlaff, the new Austrian boss of Red Bull, has probably reached the end of his tether now. And the fact that, we've discussed things like performance, the driver merry-go-round as well, the noise that has been around Max Verstappen the last few weeks as well hasn't been put to bed either. I think the buck stops with him at the end of the day, and it has now. So, yeah, it's huge news, and I think it was the right thing to do it now, better than later.
Absolutely. Red Bull has to think about its brand image and its sort of corporate image, and you made a very good point about it being about the sort of public perception as well. You said it yourself, PR people would definitely look to move somebody along in this position if it wasn't such a public sort
Sorry.
of I don't know, don't quite know what the word is, but yeah, the sort of public perception, if you like.
I
Oh,
just want
and
to quickly
oh,
add, oh,
yes, go on, of
sorry,
course.
quickly add as well, like I liken this to, or I liken Horner in a way to Ron Dennis at the end of his tenure and Red Bull being such a brand about, youth and extreme sports and all that. It is kind of like having, someone with Ron Dennis's mindset at the front of the company. So a refresh is needed, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. Change is needed at Red Bull, and this will probably be it.